Good evening, everybody. I just realized that the video that I pre-recorded for you this evening wasn't playing with audio. So, welcome to Giving Tuesday. My name is Elle Potter-Brodsky. I am the co-founder of Yoga Buzz, and I wanted to take a moment before we get started here to say a genuine and heartfelt thank you for your support over the last several months. Like all nonprofits across the world right now, this year has been one of trying to figure out how to pivot and adapt, and then pivot and adapt again and again and again. And for us, our pop-up in-person events are the main source of funding to run our nonprofit organization. So it's been a huge learning process of applying our yoga practice off the mat into the way that we take deep breaths in uncomfortable situations, including but not limited to accounting and budgeting, and then also remembering that we're all connected and we can still all show up for one another in a way that is different but still very meaningful. So before we get started tonight, a reminder, today's Giving Tuesday, and so I'm offering this class at no cost this evening in hopes that you might consider making a donation to support the work that we do at Yoga Buzz to make the practice of yoga accessible. You can do that here on Facebook. You can do it on our website at yogabuzz.org, or you can Venmo or Cash App at Yoga Buzz. Since my husband and I co-founded Yoga Buzz in the summer of 2014 at the Schlafly Tap Room, we have been really driven to share the practice of yoga in a way that is unique and unexpected and breaks the expectations of what folks have about what yoga is, who does yoga, where it happens, what it looks like, etc. And as the conversation has deepened as to what makes the practice of yoga inaccessible, whether it's social inequity or financial barriers or teachers who are just not prepared to support the diverse needs of many different types of bodies showing up in a typical yoga classroom. We've continued to go down these and have these conversations with one another in our community and adapt what we do to try to be more supportive for those varying needs. We are very, very proud of our yoga teacher training program, which we started in 2016, the first teacher training in St. Louis to really center a curriculum around accessibility, trauma-informed practices, and social justice, while also really being deliberate about how we can be appreciative of the culture and heritage that yoga comes from, being South Asia. So what you need this evening is your mat or a space on the floor where you can be comfortable. A wand, yes, really, a wand. I worked it into this whole thing. So I know half of you are my favorite nerds who have a commemorative wand from that time you went to Universal Studios. But if you don't, then a pen or anything that you can wave around is perfect. And then also in the comments is a link to the playlist on Spotify if you want to play that and listen along as we practice tonight. Or if you've got other music that you'd rather listen to, I'm not going to be playing music on this live stream, so you can pick what you need. And then at the end of my video, hang on, hang on. Oh, what's this? Oh, caught it. First try. It's a thing. Okay. All right. So I'll give you a moment to make yourself comfortable to queue up the playlist, and we'll get started in just a moment. All right, so if you'd like, you can go ahead and start your playlist now. I'm going to play it in my ear just so that I'm in the mood with you. And let's see, so if you've got your mat or if there's anything else that you'd like for yourself to make yourself more comfortable in your practice tonight, let's see, first of all, Accio wand. Oh, look, I got my very own. I went to Oglanders Never actually said that name out loud before. Ah, yes. Yes. I have my wand. Okay, so now I need to Accio yoga blocks. And yoga blocks. Excellent. Okay. So make yourself comfortable on your mat or on your floor, wherever you are. Set your props and your wand to the side. And we'll take a moment here, a few full deep breaths. And take a moment to reflect on what the idea of magic means to you in your life. And specifically, what does real life magic look like? Is that when coincidences happen, or when your friend calls you right after you think about them? What are those things that happen in life that make you go, wow, this is really magical? And take a full deep breath, recognizing that your breath is magic. Think about it. It's this thing that moves through you. In Sanskrit, it's called prana, the energy, life force. Whatever it is, this consciousness that animates our bodies is pretty magical, right? So before we get really started in our practice tonight, take a moment to acknowledge and recognize the lineage that this practice of yoga comes from, specifically from South Asia, with roots even into ancient Egypt. Take a moment to recognize the ancient wisdom practices that come from your own lineage, from your own ancestors, your bloodlines, and then also your chosen family. And just like in the story of Harry Potter, there's this powerful thing that can do such incredible good, and yet sometimes it gets into the hands of those who would rather do harm than good. So taking a moment to set an intention of doing good by the things that we are learning on this practice, and recognizing that those who do harm with things that could be done for good doesn't define that thing, right? Let's take a deep, full breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Release your arms by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Bring the palms to touch. Exhale, thumbs to the center of the chest. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. And again, like that, moving with your breath. One more time. Reach up as you inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, take your right hand down to the ground. Reach your left arm up overhead and stretch through the side. And come back up through the center. Release the other hand to the ground. Reach up and over to the other side. Come back up through the center. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Let's come forward to tabletop on hands and knees. From hands and knees, take and round your chin towards you, or tuck your chin towards your chest, round through the spine. And inhale, take the heart forward, lengthen into cow pose. And move with your breath here. Exhale and round. Inhale and lengthen. Take another breath or two here. And come into a neutral spine. Take your knees out a little wider than your hips. Rest your hips back towards your heels. You can come to bow down on your forearms. Take a breath or two here. You might also walk your hands forward towards the front of your space. One more breath here in child's pose. And from here, shift yourself up to hands and knees. Situate your knees underneath your hips. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Lift them up off of the mat. Come into a standing forward fold. You can bring your forearms to the top of your thighs or let your arms hang freely down towards the earth. You might sway from side to side or stay still. And shift your weight towards your toes and then back towards your heels. And take and walk your hands to the front of your thighs. Lift your torso up halfway. Draw your shoulder blades together behind your heart. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head. And exhale and fold down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Draw the shoulder blades together behind you. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms forward and up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's pause for a moment here. Find one still point out in front of you to focus your gaze. And a reminder that as we move through this practice tonight, it's up to you to take care of your body. So if at any point I offer something that doesn't feel good to you, try something different. You're also welcome to just lay down and listen to the soundtrack from Harry Potter if you'd rather at any point, whatever you need for you. You're the one in control of your own magic. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, palms touch, thumbs to the center of the chest. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the shoulder blades together behind you. Exhale and fold. From here, walk your hands forward, come back into tabletop. Now here's where you need your wand. Take and bring your wand into your right hand. Reach your right arm forward. So you can stay like this, or take and reach, let's see, your left toes back. You can keep the left toes on the ground or lift them up and let them hover off of the ground. Point out through your wand, reach all the way out past the tips of your fingers, and imagine that as you send magic and energy out through the tip of your wand, you do the same through your heel. Inhale here. Then exhale, draw the elbow and the knee towards one another, round through the spine, bring your magic in. Inhale, lengthen out long. Exhale, draw in, and oh yes, this will be cheesy. Had you not picked up on that? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round in. Inhale, reach the right arm, left leg back. And then take and lower the hand and the knee. Switch your wand to your left hand. Stretch your right toes back. Left arm and wand goes forward. Stay here or take your right leg up off of the ground. Reach the back of your ribs up towards the sky so your abdomen is strong. Reach out past the tip of your wand as you stretch back through your heel. Inhale. Exhale, draw the elbow and the knee towards one another. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, draw in. Inhale. One more time. And then exhale, lower the hand and the knee down to the ground. Take and sit back towards your heels. Bring your wand to both hands. Inhale, reach the hips. Take the wand up towards the sky. Exhale, point the wand down forward, hips back towards your heels. So inhale, reach up. And exhale. You can even, if you'd like, expecto Patronus. And imagine what your Patronus, what your protective animal would be. The creature that most represents your heart and soul. Let's do this one more time. And exhale, sit back. Take and bring your wand to the front of your mat. Come back into tabletop. Then from here, you're welcome to stay or place your hands towards the front of your mat. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So here you're in an upside down V shape. You can shift the hips from side to side or bend the knees one at a time, or again, if you prefer to find stillness, you can be there. If this is not your jam, tabletop is an option for you here. We'll probably be in this pose a few different times tonight. Take another big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. From here, walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, fold forward towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Take your hands to the earth, stretch your left leg all the way back. Place your left knee down to the earth. You can take a blanket or a pillow or fold the long edge of your mat up underneath your back knee for a little extra cushion if that would feel better for you. And then lift your torso up. Let's pause for a moment with hands at the top of the right thigh. Press your hips forward and down. And as your hips go forward and down, lengthen up and out through the crown of your head. Take another inhale here. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Inhale, fingertips up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows, take them out wide. Inhale, lift up through the fingertips. Exhale, elbows wide. Once more, inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down towards the earth. Lift your back knee. Step the left foot forward and fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the shoulder blades together. And exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg back. Place the right knee down onto the earth. If you're feeling wobbly here, take your left foot off to the left a bit so you broaden the base of your pose. And then take hands to the top of the left thigh to begin. Here, really focus on taking your hips forward and down as you lengthen up through the crown of your head. Another inhale. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, elbows reach wide. Inhale, lift up through the fingertips twice more. Exhale, lift the heart as you draw the elbows back. Inhale, extend. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, take your hands to the mat. This time, slide the left foot back, tabletop or back to downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Imagine here with your hands on the mat, imagine you're squeezing your thumbs towards one another, like you're trying to slide them there. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another as if you were holding a yoga block there. Take an inhale. Open mouth, exhale. And from here, walk your feet to the front of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing, sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands to the heart. From here, bend your knees, sit back through your hips into chair pose. And then I'm going to just do a quick obliviate so that you forget any negative feelings that you have about chair pose. and you hold it with enthusiasm and enjoyment. Did it work? Sit back through the hips a bit more. Sit your weight into your heels rather than your toes. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward, stretch your legs long. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stretch your left leg all the way back. Place your left knee down to the earth. Inhale, this time sweep the arms straight up overhead, or you can use the hands to the thigh for support. Exhale, elbows go wide. Inhale, reach up through the fingers, maybe even come out of the pose slightly. Exhale, deepen in. Once more, inhale. Exhale. From here, take your right hand to your right hip, left hand to your right knee. So just a casual turn over the right side. Breathe here. Keep your ears in line with your shoulders so your chin doesn't jut forward. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, take your hands to the ground, lift your left knee, step forward, and we'll switch sides. Step on back with the right foot, right knee down to the earth. Inhale, arms overhead, one or both or neither. Exhale, elbows go wide, hips reach forward and down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale, and this time take your left hand to your left hip, right hand to your left knee, and breathe as you turn to the left. And think of turning through the rib cage here, rather than just through the head or just through the shoulders. Keep your chin drawn back so your ears are stacked over your shoulders. One more breath here. Then untwist, bring your hands to the mat. Lift the back knee, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. From here, take and turn to either of the long edges of your mat. Step your feet out wide. I almost died. It's okay. Everything's fine. Turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Extend out through the fingertips. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Then exhale and hinge forward at your hips. So here you can take your hands to your thighs, your knees, your shins, wherever they reach, or if you'd like to bring them to the ground. You're welcome to stay here, or you can walk your hands forward so that your upper body comes into like a downward dog situation. As you stay rooted through the soles of your feet. Take one more big breath here. Then walk your hands underneath your shoulders or towards your body. Walk your hands up to your hips. Little bend to the knees as you rise up to standing. Turn your left, or let's say your left toes to the short edge of your mat. So whether that's the front of the back, it's not important. Bend your left knee over your left ankle. Take your arms out wide. Very nice. Big inhale here. Take up space in your body. Exhale, soften through the bend of your left knee. Inhale, come up slightly out of the bend in the knee, and then exhale and reach back in. Let's do that one more time, just for the gentle pulsation with your breath. Inhale here, and exhale. Take your right hand to the left. Then inhale, make a big circle with your right fingertips up overhead, down towards the ground, back to the left hand. Then add the breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach down and forward. One more time. This time, maybe bring your drishti or your focus to the fingertips. And this time, inhale, straighten the left leg, bring both arms up overhead. Turn the left toes to face the long edge of the mat, and we'll switch sides. So now turn the right toes to the short edge of your space. Bend the right knee forward over the ankle and reach your arms out wide. Gaze out past your right fingertips. Reach through both arms as much as you're reaching through both legs. So do equal extension out through all of your limbs. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, maybe deepen the bend in the front knee. And inhale, come back out of it a smidge. Exhale. Inhale. Once more. And this time, settle through the bend in your front knee. Bring your left fingertips to meet the right. Reach your left arm up overhead. Trace a big circle here. Reach down and out. Then add the breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach down and forward. This time, maybe adding the drishti or the focus. Watch the left fingertips. And inhale, straighten the leg. Bring both arms up overhead. Hands to your hips. Turn your toes towards the long edge of your space again. We'll fold forward again. You can keep your hands at your hips or try taking your hands and interlacing them behind your back as you fold forward here. Take 2 more breaths here. And from wherever you are, walk your hands to the front of your space. Turn towards whatever foot is there. Step back into tabletop or downward facing dog. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. As you inhale, shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. So come to the top of a push-up. Knees can be down on the ground. You can also take and walk them back. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Get long through the spine. Take a big inhale here. Then keep your gaze just past the front of your mat as you exhale. Bend the elbows to point towards the back of your space and lower all the way down onto your belly. Point your toes back to the tops of your feet. Rest onto the earth. Draw the shoulder blades together behind you. On an inhale, lift your chest, just lightly pressing into the hands. Take another big inhale here. And exhale and lower down. Again, inhale, lift the chest, gently pressing into the hands. So it's mostly the strength of your back that holds you here rather than any pressing. Exhale, lower down to the earth. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. This time, take and bring your elbows underneath your shoulders so you come into what one of my teacher friends once referred to as TV watching pose. You can rest your palms of your hands flat to the ground, or you can interlace or bring the palms together to touch in front of you if you prefer. Then from here, take and turn your chin over your right shoulder. So just a gentle stretch through the neck. Bring your chin in through the center. Look over your left shoulder. And come back in through the center. Take an inhale. And exhale, lower down to the earth. You can take and stack the hands and rest your forehead there if you'd like. And take a moment to pause. Let your hips sway from side to side. And from here, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders again. Press yourself up through tabletop. Then stay here or lift the hips back to downward facing dog. Big inhale. Open mouth, exhale. From here, step or hop your feet to the front of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Grab a hold of your wand and bring it with you as you inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's pause for a moment here, upright. So things that help with standing balance poses is your focus, or your drishti, as it's called in Sanskrit, which is the language used in yoga oftentimes. So finding one still point out in front of you. The other is to breathe and stay connected to your breath. And then the third part is magic. It's really just luck, because sometimes no matter what you do, you're going to fall over. So let's see what happens. Stand into the sole of your right foot, come onto your left tippy toes. You can bring your hands to heart center or hands to the hips. I find this to be really helpful when setting up for balance. Turn your left knee open to the side. You can keep your toes on the ground or on a block, or bring it up to the inseam of your standing leg. And then rather than pressing your lifted foot against your standing leg, hug both against one another. And then if you'd like, you can take and bring your arms out wide. And then find your focal point out in front of you. If you want, you can even take and point your wand at it to help keep your attention there. And then maybe start to move your gaze or your drishti up towards the sky to really challenge yourself. Another breath here in tree pose. Or if you start falling over, it's the Whomping Willow. And then bring hands back to heart center, release the standing foot or the lifted foot to the ground. And then before you shake it out, just pause. Notice the difference in sensation between your two legs. That's the magic, right? That's the energy that you've used, and it's created a sensation and experience in your body. So now let's switch sides. Come onto your right foot, come onto your left tippy toes. Turn your knee out towards the side. You can stay on your tippy toe or bring it to the inseam of the leg. And again, hug the standing leg against the lifted foot so you're not pushing yourself off to the side. Rather, you're hugging in to find balance. That's the strength that can help to find stability. And then your focus, your gaze, your drishti, right? So you can even point to it here. You can start to challenge yourself to bring your gaze forward or up towards the sky. You can find any arm variation you'd like here. Again, you can go Whomping Willow. Bring hands to heart center. Release the lifted foot to the ground, and then pause again before you shake out the standing leg. What does it feel like to be in your body? What is the sensation that oftentimes we're quick to try to adjust or move away from? Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. From here, let's bend the knees, sit back through the hips. And again, wand is here to help with balance, so feel free to use that. Bending through the knees, take and bring your let's do the arms first. Sweep your right arm underneath your left. You can hug yourself here, or you can stack your elbows towards one another. You can also reach the wand forward with one arm. Stay here, or right leg comes up over the left. This is eagle pose. So here, send your breath into the space between your shoulder blades. It said that the back of the body is what connects us to our ancestors, to all those that came before us. So as you breathe here into the back of the heart, send a call back for the magic, for the wisdom of your own heritage. And you may know what that looks like, or maybe you don't. I don't entirely, if I'm honest. Take a big inhale. And exhale, untangle the arms and legs. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, we'll switch sides. Left arm sweeps under the right, either hugging the shoulders or wrapping at just the wrists, however you want to play that. I can't quite decide clearly. You can stay here or take the left leg and cross it at the ankle, the shin, or maybe the thigh. You can use the foot like a kickstand or let it hover, play between those. Then again, send the breath into the back of the body. This time as we send the breath into the back of the body, calling back through the lineages of the practice of yoga, of this wisdom body that helps us to embrace the duality of lightness and darkness, of effort and ease in our own bodies, our own lives. Take another breath here. And untangle the arms and legs. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, one more standing balance pose here. Take and stand onto the left foot. Come onto the right tippy toes. Bring your right hand to your hip, wand to your left hand. Reach your left hand and the wand forward. You can stay like this or bring the right foot up to hover off of the mat. Stay here, or as you reach forward through your wand, turn to the right. Maybe reach the right arm behind you. I don't know where you are in the playlist, but there was a very dramatic end of the song just then, and I'm feeling very cinematic. Take another inhale. And exhale, release the foot to the ground, arms by the sides. Again, notice the sensation in the standing leg before you rush to shake it off. And then do what you need to do. All right, switch the wand into the right hand. Come onto the left tippy toes, left hand to the left hip. Reach the right arm and wand forward. Stay here or bring the left foot to hover off of the earth. Stay here or turn over the left shoulder. Maybe the left arm reaches back. Think of energy, light shooting out through the end of your wand, prana, life force, coming from your own heart, from an infinite supply within your own body. And then turn to face the front, release your foot, release your arms by your sides, notice any and all sensation there. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, fold at the hips down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. From here, step your right leg all the way back on your mat. Switching it up to be left leg first in front. Keep your wand, because why not? We've committed. Open up into warrior two. Bring your wand into your left hand. Inhale, straighten the left leg, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knee, arms float out long. One more time like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And pause here. Maintain the bend in the left knee in whatever way suits you. Bring your right hand to your right leg. Left arm goes up overhead. Imagine you're shooting your Patronus up to the sky. Again, what is it that would embody your heart, your being, your soul? What creature, what animal? What do you feel protected by? Maybe it's a person. Take an inhale here. And exhale, straighten the left leg. Bring the arms to the horizon. Slide the left fingertips forward, then down towards the earth. Right arm up to the sky. So here with your wand in your hand, you can't press the palm of your hand against your body or the ground to support yourself. So you're really using the strength of your core here. And then just for something fun, take the right hand down and bring your wand into your right hand, but keep your left hand floating here as you take your right arm now up to the sky. So really using the strength of your core. Another inhale. Exhale, right hand down to the left. Put the wand in your left hand. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. One more time, right hand grabs the wand. Inhale and reach it up. Press into the left foot, bend the left knee, rise back up through warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring both arms overhead. And then turn all your toes to point towards the long edge of your space, hinge forward at your hips and bow. Wide-legged forward fold. And this is the, I think, third time we're in this pose here. So if you'd like to take any of the variations we've taken thus far, you're welcome to. Or if you'd like to try something new or different, maybe walking the hands over to your left foot for a couple breaths and then to the right foot for a couple breaths. Give yourself a moment for yourself. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And walk your hands to your hips. Lift yourself on upright. From here, turn your right toes to point towards the short edge of your mat. Shift your right knee forward over the ankle, warrior 2 here. Gaze out across the right fingertips. Wand in the right hand, by the way. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knee, arms float out wide. Couple more times with your breath here. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Exhale, reach the arms out wide. Float the left hand to the back leg, right arm up overhead, reverse warrior. And again, imagine you're sending your own bright light up into the sky. Imagine we can all see each other's bright lights up in the sky as well. It's like we know each other's here. Like little bat signals go up everywhere, although it's an entirely different franchise, so I'll not cross paths in the nerddom here. Take another breath. Come back up through the center, straighten the right leg. Reach forward through your wand, your right hand, and then point your wand down to the ground, left hand to the hip or to the sky, triangle pose. And again, let the hand hover here, so it's the strength of your core, your abdomen that holds you here. Take your left hand down to retrieve the wand. Keep your right hand floating. Take your left arm to the sky. And bring the wand back to your right hand. Left arm goes up. Once more. Wand in the left hand as it reaches up. Bend the right knee. Rise up, warrior 2. Straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes towards the long edge of your mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Then from here, take and walk, wiggle, or hop your feet together. I'm gonna do just a quick little Wingardium Leviosa to try to get my feet up. Ah, yes, cool. And then face the front of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And from here, step back to tabletop. Set your wand at the front of your mat. Take your knees out wide. Rest your hips back towards your heels. You can come down onto forearms, rest your head on a block, or stack your hands for child's pose or whatever shape feels restful to you here. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Relax the muscles in your face. And from here, lift yourself up into tabletop. One more little magic trick before we start to cool down here. So bring your wand to your right hand. Reach your right arm, right wand, or your wand, and your right hand forward. Stretch your left leg back. So like we did earlier, press the middle of your back up towards the sky. Then keep your gaze forward. Look out past the front of your mat. Keep your right arm lifted, lower your left knee down. And take and stretch your right leg back, right leg, right arm. Can you find balance here? Think of using the magic of your wand here. Take another breath. Ridiculous. To release. We'll switch sides here. So wand into the left hand. Left arm reaches forward. First, the right leg goes back. So we find balance between asymmetry here in the pose. Low belly draws in, middle back presses up towards the sky. Keep the left arm reaching, lower the right knee down, stretch the left leg back. And breathe. If you're falling over, you're doing it right, by the way. I've just learned a way to cheat. I'll tell you sometime. Lower your left knee and your left hand down. Take a couple cat and cows here, round through the spine. And then lift the heart and the hips. We'll come to a neutral spine from here. Let's take and bring yourself forward to the top of a push-up. You can set your wand aside. We may or may not use it again in a moment. And from here, lower all the way down onto your belly. Bring your arms by your sides, palms facing down by your hips. Press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift your chest and your arms, but keep the tops of your feet pressing. Press so much that your kneecaps lift up off the mat with the strength of your legs engaging here. One more breath like this. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift the legs up behind you. Take one full round of breath here. And exhale, lower down, rest either side of your face to the mat. You can sway the hips from side to side if you'd like. And bring your forehead or your chin back to the mat. Same thing this time, option to interlace your hands behind your back or take your hands to your hips. Press into the tops of the feet so the legs stay rooted to begin. Lift your chest, hug your elbows in towards one another like you're trying to make them touch behind your back. Keep the back of the neck long. Exhale. And with the bottom of your exhale, lift your feet up behind you. Imagine you're holding your wand between your heels so your legs are strong. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Rest the opposite side of your face to the earth. And bring your chin to the center of the mat. Take and walk your elbows underneath your shoulders here again. Then here, take and walk your right fingertips off to the right and lower down onto, bring your left hand under your left shoulder now, so come back down. And from here, start to slowly roll onto the front of the right shoulder and onto the right hip. So here you can take and bring your right pinky closer to your hip. That will feel different and maybe less intense than if you take the arms straight out to the side. If you take the arms straight out to the side and that isn't hurting and you'd like to try something different, then bend the elbow. But let this be a stretch and let it be sensational, not painful. As Dumbledore says, numbing the pain for a while will only make it worse when you finally feel it. And I feel like that's the most yoga teacher thing to ever say. Don't push yourself for the sake of accomplishing something that's not worth it. Take another breath here. And roll onto your belly. This time, left arm goes out to the side. Again, it can be by the hip or out from the shoulder. And slowly, tentatively start to roll onto the front of your left shoulder. So you can figure out Wear creates sensation versus pain. You can also bend the knees. I like to do that personally. You can lift the head or let it be lowered. It'll just kind of depend on how your body's made. You could also take your top leg and bring it behind you. Let's take another breath. And then roll onto your belly. So you can bring both elbows underneath your shoulders. Bend your knees and let your knees or your feet sway from side to side. And from here, lower your feet to the ground. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, press up through tabletop. Come into seated. Take it and bring your legs out in front of you. Let your knees bobble a little bit. If you have tight hamstrings, you can take your wand and do just a quick Alohomora to open up any locked muscles or joints. May or may not work. I don't really know if that works for body parts so much as doors and windows. Can't hurt to try, right? From here, let's take and bring the soles of the feet together to touch to begin. Heels can be close or far from your body, depends on what works for the angles of your knees and your hips. Take your hands to the front of your shins or your ankles, lift up through your chest, draw the shoulders back, and breathe. You're welcome to stay upright here, or if you'd prefer, you can walk your hands forward, soften your chin towards your chest. Let's take another breath here. Lift yourself up. Bring the knees together. Slide your left leg out long. Bring your right foot in just to wherever is doable here for the sole of the foot to be on the ground. It could be out hip distance or wider, or it could be close. It's your call. We'll do an open twist, meaning we're going to turn to the left here. So right knee is bent, right hand goes to the right knee or shin, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Bring your left hand by your left hip and turn to the left. Again, line your ears up with your shoulders so your chin doesn't jut forward. And when you draw your chin back and line your ears up with your shoulders like that, you create a lift through the chest. You help to create more of a neutral spine. Another breath here. Turn to face the extended leg. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inseam of the left leg. Right knee opens out to the side. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. You can bring your hands by your hips and stay upright here if this is enough sensation for you. You could also explore walking your hands forward and bowing over your extended leg. Dumbledore also says, it's our choices, Harry, that show us who we truly are, far more than our abilities. So choose here to breathe deeply rather than trying to prove that you can touch your toes. I can't see what you're doing anyway, so if you think you're impressing me, you're not, only because I can't see you, except for you are because you're here and I appreciate you. Therefore, I am impressed. Take another breath here. Walk your hands up towards the body, lift up. Then from here, take and turn your torso so that your belly button is pointing straight out over your right shin, and then walk your hands forward from there. Take a couple breaths here. And from here, take your left hand to your right shin, right hand to your right hip. Lean back with your right shoulder. Draw your chin back. You can also take your right hand to the small of your back or reach across towards the top of your left hip, maybe. But again, it's not your ability, it's your choices here. So choose where you can be while still breathing deeply. And then from here, release your right hand so that you bow over your shin again. Draw your chin to your chest, round through your spine, and then roll yourself upright. And slide your right foot next to the left, and we'll switch sides. Turn this way so that you can see. Left foot goes to the inseam of the right leg. Oh no, first it does this. Left foot flat to the ground, so it can be out wide or close in. But again, we're gonna twist away from the bent leg. So left hand to the left knee, right hand by the right hip, turn to the right. You can also take the left arm to the inside of the left leg as you turn. Lift up through the crown of your head. Draw your chin back. And breathe. One more breath here. And untwist. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inseam of the right leg. Hands by the hips to start. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And stay there, or if you'd like, bow forward. Find a place where you can breathe steadily and deeply. One more breath here. Walk your hands up towards the body to lift through the chest. Then turn towards your left shin. And walk your hands out past the left shin. Relax the muscles in your face. You don't need them here. From here, take your right, or walk both hands towards the leg, the left leg. Take your right hand to your right shin or your right knee, left hand to the hip. Draw your left shoulder back and lean back. You can keep the left hand at the hip or rest it behind the back or reach towards the front of the right hip. See if you can keep the ears in line with your shoulders here as well. You can look down, forward, or up towards the sky. Breathe deeply. And release your left hand from behind you or alongside you. Walk it out so you bow over your left leg again. Round through your spine, both hands on the ground, and roll yourself upright. And from here, bend your right knee. Let's come into a comfortable seated situation here. Rest your hands at the top of your thighs or the tops of your knees. Take a couple breaths here. We'll be here for just a moment, so if you'd like, you can also sit up on a little bit of something. We're going to do some of the greatest magic practice within the tradition of yoga, which is pranayama or breath work. So first, let's think lumos, light, and imagine the breath moving through the body as light, without changing anything about your breath. And let your gaze settle somewhere out in front of you. Or if you'd like, you can close your eyes, or even bring the eyes to like a half gaze. Let the eyelids close halfway. And here with the breath, as you inhale, at the top of your inhale, take a little extra sip of breath in, and imagine as you do that, the light of your breath gets a little brighter. And then as you exhale, imagine that light slowly fading, not disappearing, but like moving far away. Inhale the breath, fueling that light, getting bigger and bigger, taking an extra sip of breath at the top of the inhalation, perhaps that light shining bright, sparkling. Then exhale. You continue to move, just watching the breath and taking an extra sip at the top of your inhales. Sirius Black tells Harry Potter, we've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That is who we really are. So here with this pranayama practice, we'll take 3 more rounds, growing this light within us so that we can save it for the darkest of nights. On your next exhale, let that breath practice, that pranayama, fade away. Take a couple rounds of natural breath here. And make your way onto your back. Ooh, I've been wondering, Wingardium Leviosa? Wingardium Leviosa? Haha! Anyway, lay on down as we move into our place of rest, final relaxation here. If there's any movement that you'd like to take for your body here, please feel free to do so, whether that's hugging the knees into the chest or taking a gentle twist on your back. And as you rest into your final resting pose, rest knowing that the light, the magic, the energy that you've cultivated through your practice this evening was created from within you, from an infinite supply, and will stay with you even on the days when you forget it's there. I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of those days lately. As you rest here, watch the way that your breath moves through your body. If you'd like to continue that pranayama practice, that breath practice, you're welcome to. Taking an extra sip of breath in at the top of your inhales. And letting that extra addition of breath create a more full experience of an exhale. We'll rest here for a couple minutes. I'll cue us back when it's time. And take 3 more full deep breaths here. Send little flickers of movement into your fingers and your toes. Feel the magic of being alive. Ultimately, that's what the whole practice of yoga, beyond even this physical practice, is about harnessing the creativity and the magic of this being alive. Bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on the ground. Roll onto either side. Take a moment to pause there. Take one full round of breath. And then from there, press yourself upright, trying to keep your focus attracted or pointed at the sensation of light in the body, or any point in the practice tonight where you may have felt light and free, playful. Take your wand, because that's what we're doing here. And bring your hands together, palms pressing with your wand in the center of your hands. One of the other beautiful things about the practice and philosophy of yoga is it teaches us how to take and recognize everyday objects as something sacred, right? That's ultimately what we do with our bodies. It becomes the sacred thing as we move through our practice. Or we can take something silly like a pen or a piece of resin or whatever this is made out of and imagine that it's an instrument for magic, for peace. So take a moment and send a little bit of your light out into the world, and send a little bit of that light into the center of your own heart. Thank you so much for playing with me this evening. I really appreciate it. I miss you all so much. It's not the same teaching it here and not at the Carmel Room in Bissinger's, but I sure appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon. Good night, y'all.